Hello my little storm clouds, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I am building a build that is inspired a little bit by the Night Court from Acotar. If you don't know what that is, it is a book series. It's fantastic so far. I am about a quarter of the way through the second book. I'm really excited to read some more. This isn't the Night Court, there is slight differences, but I did take some inspiration from the Night Court, such as the wide open windows, which I haven't used windows here, I've used doors. Well, they're not doors, they are archways, but you know what I mean. But I haven't matched exactly the theme of the Night Court. It's more just like celestial, nighttime, night sky sort of theme. So I've gone for this dark blue wallpaper on the inside, and I ended up using loads of wall lights and sizing them down so they're like stars. And I use a lot of the stuff from Realm of Magic because there is the sort of celestial style things that have the moons and stars in them, so it worked really well. I really wanted a round bed, so I was playing around, and you might see this for a little while, but I do end up changing it, and I use a round platform and place a dark blue bed on it. And then I've built a little bathroom on the edge of here. I do slightly change the size of things a little bit later on, because when I add the platform that is rounded, I had to move it back, so I had to extend it a little bit towards the back side, so everything ends up a little bit wider than I am doing here. I was trying to like overlap these here on the wall because round walls are not fun to work on. I do work out in the end, and I do change these roofing a little bit later on. I make them smaller so they don't line up to the edge, they're just like in the center, and I do end up preferring that because I can't get them quite to work. So I like this for now, but I do go ahead and change them very soon. So here's me adding all those little lights. I do add more later on, and I do some off camera because I wanted to add a lot, and I give them a slight yellowy glow like stars sort of do. And then I also hung some lanterns from the top of the glass roofing, because normally your ceiling lights will just hang from the normal height. It doesn't look too great. So what I did is use the succulent plants from Nifty Knitting, raise them up so they line up with the top of the roof, and then I use lanterns and raise them up and put them over the top of the succulent. Since this room is rather large, I end up having a little vanity area as well as a little like reading area, and also a living space with a nice fireplace, because it, like I said, it is a rather large room. It's quite open and airy. I really enjoyed making this. It's not my style normally to do these like magical fantasy builds, but I've been really inspired since the Castle Estate came out, and since starting reading Acotar. It's just got my creativity at full flow currently, so I'm really excited to build some more fantasy themed build. It is really difficult because I don't feel like there's many items that you can use. You sort of have to use a lot of the same items. Like I said, Realm of Magic was great for this because a lot of the items have that sort of magical look to them. And other than the little star lighting all over the walls, I wanted to just add candles everywhere. So I have these little candles that are lined up between each doorway. And I add loads of little lanterns as well around the fireplace and some of the reading areas, as well as in the bathroom. The lanterns I end up using are from the, I can't remember what the pack's called, but it's like Moroccan themed, and I really liked it because there is like purple stained glass on it, which match the Realm of Magic doors that I'm using, which have the purple stained glass. So I end up using those around the room you'll see here around the fireplace, and I think they just look really beautiful. And I also wanted to include some gold in here to match it with like stars. Also, like I said in my previous build, the one of the spring court, I will be doing the night court as well as the other court, but they are going to take some time. This is why I'm just doing this room build for now. I haven't even started the night court yet. I don't know where to build it because I need a really big lot. I would have loved to do it here in the magic realm, but there is only this lot in here. And if you don't know how to get onto this lot, you have to bring your sim and enable free build as a cheat, and then you can actually change the magic school that is there. So that's why I'm doing it here, and the background just looks amazing, but this is not going to be big enough for doing the night court. Also seems like when it comes to the night court, there is multiple different buildings. There is a townhouse as well as the, is it called the wind tower? I can't remember, I literally only read it last night, but my brain's gone blank because I've been sat doing this all day long. But yeah, there seems like there's going to be a few builds, and I want to build as many things as I can. As long as there's a brief description on them, I can sort of bring them to life. If there's anything you ever want me to build that is from a book or a TV show or anything like that, I'm happy to take suggestions, and it doesn't mean I'll be doing them straight away. It could be a year down the line that I end up doing them, because I have a big list of things that I want to build, and I've taken suggestions from people and wrote them down as well. And it's just whatever I feel like doing at the time. Like I said, at the moment I'm massively into fantasy sort of builds, so that's why I'm building this currently. And if you have read or are reading acotar at the moment, let me know what you think about it, because I am absolutely loving it. It's one of the best book series I've read in a while. Before this I was reading is it Shadow and Bone? I think it's Shadow and Bone, and there's also a Netflix series on it which I also watched after I read the book. They are nothing alike at all, but I thought that Shadow and Bone was pretty good, especially the first book, but the second and third one was not that great, to be honest. And then reading this just makes me go, Shadow and Bone was nothing compared to the acotar series. I'm also excited to start the other series. Is it Throne of Glass? I think it is. And there's another one that is also by the same author. Once I've finished this, I will most probably move on to those, because I'm enjoying her book so far. She writes really, really well, so I'm happy to try some more of her series. Have you got any book recommendations as well? Because I do love reading. I'm not a slow reader, I am quite a fast reader, but I'm slow to finish a book because I might only be able to read a few chapters at a time, and then I might have a big break. Like I read about 10 chapters last night before I went to bed, but I hadn't read for about 2 weeks before that because I just hadn't had the time. And does anyone else get that depressed feeling, like when it goes to the next chapter and it says chapter and then you realise, oh wait, I'm reading a book, this is not real life, because you're so enthralled in it and you can imagine the way everything's going, and then you stop and then you're like, oh, back to my normal life, no fantasy stuff. Anyway, back to the build. I ended up changing the bath to a rounded bath using the basement trick, and I can't remember if it's like a fountain or something like that, and it is fully functional as well. I might make a video on it to do a tutorial. And I also wanted to keep the toilet and the sink separate, just because I think it breaks that illusion of fantasy, because like toilets are never mentioned. Baths are always mentioned, but not the toilets. So I've hid them in that little section here out the way, still stuck with the stars on the wall to make it a little bit more fantasy still. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!